You might remember the story of the return of some of the fish to the 1800 gallon, since Dora, the Dorado catfish, has left for the 4500. We put back 20 silver dollars, Sharky, the black shark, and the Asian upside down catfish. It's been probably about a month since we've done it, maybe even more. The only success story out of these three is with the Asian upside down. He's thriving here, eating very well, even tries to chase other fish. And there he is under his log. He's got a couple of beautiful bite marks, little abrasions on his back, up high if he was the right size up, but this way, since he's upside down, it's down under, closer to his dorsal. He's been doing very well. Yeah, the other relicant, I mean, that wasn't a return but an upgrade. The walking catfish is also doing very well, as should have been expected. These guys are indomitable. Where is he at? Sometimes he lies around in between the, yeah, he's right there, in between the Doradids, between the irwini and granulated catfish. He's right there, right in the middle of that one. There he is, right by the big irwini. The parking lot, the one that we call the parking lot walking catfish, the one that we found in our parking lot. So he too has been doing very well. Sharky got really thin in his prior tank. I don't know why. He always was a good feeder, and he was able to feed well despite the specialized way they feed. So I'm thinking he's just at the end of his lifespan. He's probably about 12 years old, I want to say. He's not putting on body mass, but seems to be just getting thinner and thinner. Oh, there he is. He has no competition for the algae, so all these marks on the bottom that you can see everywhere, that's only all his. He can eat it all he wants, but he doesn't eat very much of it, or far not all of it. As you can see, there is his mouth marks everywhere. So I don't know how long he'll last. I'm almost tempted to put him out of his misery. He's the smaller growing male, about 1.5 feet. He's hanging on there, but he looks emaciated. And doesn't feed as much, or not nearly as much as he used to. Alright, and the last is the silver dollars, which you do not see here anymore. That really blew in my face. At first, we lost 3 of them, I think, to tiger shovelnose attacks. That was Andrew's tiger shovelnose, the one we call E. No, there's no light here. Hold on. He is now the only tiger shovelnose in this tank. There he is. He couldn't eat any of them, but he just attacked them and killed them in the process. It took me a while to figure out who was doing that, so while I was figuring it out in the first week, we lost 3 or 4 of them. Then I took N E out, and the losses stopped. But then we lost 2 more, and all of them were the thin bar silver dollars, the small ones, the smaller ones. We lost 2 more, and one of them was the red hook actually. I think that was the Dorado attacks. Bracken, by the way, is doing very well. Started eating fish for us. A huge improvement. Same for the sock puppet. So the silver dollars were rehomed back into a smaller tank. We also adopted out 4 thin bars. So now we have only 10 left. 1 thin bar and 9 red hooks. You can see the tail, half of the tail missing on that one. That's from Dorado too. A little bit missing on the bottom on that one. That's Dorado. So the little guy is still the boss. Still the brightest, with the brightest and the biggest spots. But anyhow, that's where they're at right now, in the wyckii and Giardini tank. Also having an odd flag tail, a couple of pleco. So that's the story of that, of the rehoming of the 4 fish out of here, out of the former. They used to be in the former jerk tank before it was reformulated, or after it was reformulated, I forget. But that's where we're at. Garfield, the spotted gar, is feeding much better with all the departures of other fish from this tank. So that's 3 good news. Garfield, sock puppet that tripled in weight in the last several months, couple of months actually. And the Bracken. There are other tiger shovelnose on here, I think 4 of them, from these ones we bought, and we're raising them for an exhibit. Our plan is to have 10, 15, maybe 20 of them on exhibit. Maybe they will be able to all be in the 25K, I don't know. But Wabi and Tabi are there. They seem to be okay so far, but it has not been a long-term observation yet. All right.